Hello and welcome again to Battle Ready. And today actually, we just finished watching Angels of Death. It's the Warhammer Plus animation.
6th episode.
I think it's the fifth.
Yeah, you're right.
Fifth episode, Tempest, which is sort of the
Yes.
mid-season finale, I guess. Not a lot of resolution, but it did sort of encapsulate, wrap some things up anyway. And we thought, now that we've seen the full, I guess, half season, give our review of Angels of Death, and also, where we hope it goes from here, what we think of it, if it's worth watching, that sort of thing. So Drake, what did you think of Angels of Death?
I honestly, looking at it wise, it wasn't as fun for me because it was black, red, white. That's all I could see.
Oh, you didn't like the style of it, where it was just black, white, and then some red in there?
Yeah, I did not like it. It was just like not enough for me to look at.
That's interesting. I really liked it. I thought it was very stylistically cool. And one of the things I like about it is, black and white is very stark. And that's oftentimes how the Space Marines, at least as portrayed in the show, that's how they see things. It's very black and white. Do they stay here and fight these guys and save people? Or when their commander tells them to come back, do they abandon the whole planet of billions of people to follow their command? And according to them, that they do the second one, right? It's everything sort of in black and white when they're looking at their decisions. And so I thought it was sort of a cool way to reference that. What else did you like or not like?
I'm trying to. You go, because it's kind of hard for me to think of something.
Well, I think that so neither Drake or I play 40K.
I would like to probably get into Kill Team because they just released Alcatraz.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will. But we're not well steeped in the 40K lore, and so I am 100% sure there are things being referenced in the show that are just going over our heads, right? We don't recognize it.
Way up here.
One of the things, they mentioned the blood curse or something with their blood a couple of times. I know that there's something with the blood angels.
We also don't understand why they collect the blood of their fallen brothers.
I know that there's something with the blood angels in the lore. They've got some curse, or they get the battle fury or something like that. I don't know the details of it, and because of that, I'm sure I'm not understanding the full references. That aside, I had no trouble enjoying the show. It was really fun to see sort of the, grimdark future where, everything's very brutal, everything's very violent, everything's very stark. And it was fun to see how they communicate with each other in this almost monastical way of speaking that I really liked. I thought that was pretty fun. And of course, when there's, shooting bad guys and fighting off invaders and things like that, that's, I don't think you need to know the lore to appreciate, at least the broad details of what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, did you like it or not like it?
Overall, I liked it because there was a lot of shooting, and that's just like what I like.
You just love the violence?
Smashing and shooting are the two ways I play Warhammer.
Smashing and shooting. Well, it definitely had a lot of smashing and shooting.
AKA Nighthaunt, Gloomspite, and Caradron.
As far as the story goes, the story's sort of fun. I think the story's very interesting. The only thing I didn't appreciate as much is and this could be because I'm not into 40K and I don't understand all of the nuances here, but I get who the captain is. He was well determined.
Yes.
And I get the chaplain. Good on that one. He's the one with the skull face. But then there were two sort of main-ish characters, Kazarian and the other one's name was Anachaeus, something like that.
Mm-hmm. There also was a Tech Marine.
Yeah. But the two other guys, the Tech Marine's off by himself though, so it's easy to decide who he is.
Yeah.
But the two other guys are just in their Space Marine clothes, and it's not always easy to determine who is saying what, or who's what's going back and forth between them. So I didn't always pick up the story as well as I might have if that had been a little bit clearer. And the other thing is the fifth episode, and we're not going to do any spoilers, so don't worry. But the fifth episode is mostly sort of a flashback episode. And while really fun, I actually liked that episode a lot. I almost feel like it was a missed opportunity not to take at least some of that and put it either in the beginning so that it started with that and then moved into where the bulk of the show takes place. Or maybe it would have been better to sort of chop it up and do it as little flashbacks throughout the story so that you got little bits of what happened. Having a full episode that was all flashback, even though it had a pretty cool space battle, had other things happening that were really interesting, because it was basically 100% flashback, it didn't have as much emotional weight as it otherwise were, because I knew some of those characters were going to live, right? Because we saw them.
Yes.
So I wasn't super worried that any of them were going to die. It was a good little explanation of what had gone on before, which wasn't directly discussed previously, but it wasn't didn't quite have the impact I would have liked. So I would have rather seen that either given its own episode near the beginning of the show or chopped up and interspersed a little bit, because the way the fourth episode ends, because the fifth episode is almost all flashback, the way the fourth episode ends is actually a pretty good cliffhanger mid-season ending. And then this fifth episode comes in. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit longer. It was about 10 minutes longer than the average episode, so that was sort of cool. But just could have been moved around a little. What else do you think? Was there anything else that you liked or didn't like?
There's lots of shooting, I can't say that.
Yeah, well, we like the shooting, yeah.
It also seems that power armor is very resilient. I did not realize how resilient it is.
That was another thing that's super cool. I know that in the lore, Space Marines are serious business.
Yes.
They are supposed to be extremely powerful, and although they're very, extremely powerful, they're few in number. And I think the series Angels of Death really sort of exemplifies that. Whereas the series goes along, you're talking about a group of
6.
Yeah, maybe half a dozen Space Marines, and they are taking on
hundreds
hordes of bad guys.
and only losing like 2.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, when you first start seeing them fight, they look invulnerable. They look like they're just going to smash everybody, and even though there's hundreds and hordes of people and they're shooting with all kinds of weapons and grenades and stuff, the Space Marines are pretty much just fine. And so finally, when something comes along that's strong enough to defeat a Space Marine, it has a big impact on the show. You look at it and you're like, oh, well, that thing must be really powerful. So it does a good job of sort of elevating the conflict in a lot of ways that I really like. It gives it a heavier weight when you've established these people to be super tough, and then one of them goes down, you think, oh, okay, so this must be a super tough threat. Yeah, incredibly strong.
I'd like to see some orcs in Angels of Death.
Well, I agree. Orcs are fun. I think we both like orcs. But I don't know that it would make sense in this particular story. This story is really about these particular guys looking for their captain and also dealing with some certain, tyrannid, gene stealery threats. And there's not a whole lot of space for orcs in this one, I think.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but maybe there'll be more seasons, or maybe there'll be just different animations that feature orcs.
Yes. Why can't they do the same thing, but AOS? Just do this exact same thing you're doing now, except with AOS.
Yeah, you want a Age of Sigmar animation?
Yes.
I don't
I've only
think
gotten Bolter, no hammer.
Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question. I think those things are coming.
Yes.
It's important to know that 40, even though AOS is popular, 40K is more popular. So
just
I
because
think
it's older.
Oh, I don't know. People like it. So I think it's only natural to expect that we will see more animations or battle reports or
On
things like
40K.
that with 40K. And then there will be some Age of Sigmar stuff. So now there's been a lot of 40K stuff. Maybe Age of Sigmar will be coming, in which case.
There's only been one hammer, which is the AOS battle report.
Right, there's been one AOS battle report. But this was a lore master this last week about
Yes.
tech lists. So we'll see. We'll see how things come in.
So 2 hammers in all.
But otherwise, at least at this midpoint, I'm pretty satisfied with Angels of Death. I think it's been really fun to watch. I think we've enjoyed it together. And if you are a subscriber to Warhammer Plus, or if you have interest in the animations, I think we'll give thumbs up. Thumbs up to Angels of Death.
Thumbs up.
Triple thumbs up. Even though it's black and white, you're gonna give triple thumbs?
I'm giving 1 thumb. You're giving 2 thumbs.
Oh, I see. So
I'm just putting my own
combined, it's 3 out of 4 thumbs for Angels of Death.
The third one is like this.
3.5 thumbs. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this helps you make a decision about whether or not it's something you want to pursue. And this has been Battle Ready.